We have to wake up. Okay, so basically, they said that they brought the National Guard in because of all of the violence and criminality that's happening on the train. They're checking bags, everything else, right? Right? So my question is this. If the people that are committing the violence are doing it on the trains and on the platforms, then why is the National Guard standing at the turnstiles?
For all you not native New Yorkers complaining about the National Guard being back, let me tell you, super fucking glad the National Guard is back in New York City, okay? 9/11 was my first day of high school, and I remember pretty much throughout all of my young adolescence and young adulthood, the National Guard was around. Never bothered me, and frankly, as a young kid, thought it was pretty cool. And now we got all these liberal lesbians from Ohio that are just like, we live in a police state. No, we live in Gotham fucking City, because if you've ridden the train anytime recently, people, it's so funny. It's like liberals hate acknowledging crime for some reason. And I know why. It's because they don't like to cede any credence to the fact that there is crime because they think that that's racist. It's not. It's called living in the real world. And the subways now, there may not be as many stabbings and outright violent crimes, even though there obviously are. But there are a ton of just quality of life things where it's just like bums used to try to hide when they pee. Now they just drop trow in the middle of the platform and make direct eye contact with you while they're pissing and shitting at the same time. And potentially also jerking off. So by all means, National Guard, welcome back. Do what you gotta do. And for those of you that are freaked out by it, go back to Ohio. Okay.
BBN Jack Frost. What's up, party people? Alright, so yeah. So apparently, the National Guard, they have been sent to Americas. The National Guard has been sent to New York City subway stations, and under the auspice of there's too much violence on the subways. Okay. Now I want to be clear about something. There is a lot of violence on the subways. We definitely need more police. The reason why, I'll explain why I'm saying this in 2 seconds. But we definitely need more police. I also want to add, do y'all remember when all of those advocates and all of those Democrats was saying defund the police? And they basically still are saying defund the police. They're just saying it a little bit quieter. While we're having all of this rampant violence, especially in the inner cities, in the metropolises of America, we have all of this violence, but yet these people that tell you that they love black people, they want less police to stop the criminals. I don't know what to tell you. In any regard, the National Guard has been disseminated. No, not that word. The National Guard has been sent to the subways of New York City. And I have a couple of questions. The first one is this. All of the violence is happening on the platform and happening on the actual trains. That's where we're seeing all of these fights that are happening on the New York City public transportation, correct? Then why do they got the National Guards standing at the turnstiles? I'll tell you why. They are expecting a terrorist attack. And now that I said the word, I realize YouTube might be upset at me, but they are expecting attacks. I don't know if they're expecting one that's domestic. I don't know if they're expecting one that is foreign, but they are expecting attacks on the subway. I'm telling you they are, because the majority of the individuals that are getting into these fights on the subway, pushing people into train tracks and whatnot, they ain't got no bags. They just down there, naked, not in some cases figuratively, but they're just down there with no bags and nothing. They have regular clothes on. The biggest bag they might have is like they went to the other subway and got a sandwich or something. They are not carrying around all of these knapsacks and backpacks and I don't know, You know those things that the hobos have on the end of the stick? They don't have those either. They're literally down there with whatever they walked out of the crib with. So this right here is not going to stem the violence on the subways. You know what would stem the violence on the subways? If they hired more police and put them on the subway. Maybe if we had a division that was just for the subway, literally had a little bit different uniform, not completely different, obviously, because they're still NYPD, but had a uniform that you can tell that they're for the subway, and then they're for the MTA, they're for the subway, and it's not necessarily, they're not trying to bust you if you're outside the subway. That's one. Two, another reason why I think they have them at the turnstiles is because they're trying to get people to pay their fare. For everybody that don't know, if you're not from New York City, people are just not paying fares nowadays. And it's because nobody want to pay $3 to get on a damn train where you just might get stabbed. That don't make sense, fam. So, one, y'all need to improve the actual security of the individuals that's riding on the train. That's one. And two, you need to freaking bring the price down because you're not giving us $3 service, fam. We're not even getting $2.25 service right now. We're getting about $1.75 to $2 service when we get on the trains. That's just what it is, fam. I'm saying what it is. The service needs to improve, and I'm not talking about right now about late trains and late buses. Screw all of that. I'm talking about just being able to get onto these the public transportation system and not feel like there's gonna be some weirdo coming around doing weird stuff. So this is what I say. Stop having the police check to see if people are hopping. Maybe have them at big stations. The very, very large stations that have a lot of Congress. The reason why is because those stations have more of a likelihood of violence or something happening. And those stations, since there's more people coming in and out of those stations, yeah, okay, make sure that people are paying to use those stations. I get it. But when we have a station in the middle of nowhere and you got 2 police officers standing there, instead of down on the platform where the violence is gonna happen, that doesn't make any sense. It's like you're more concerned with people paying the fare and less concerned with people maybe having to go to the hospital after 5 minutes down in the damn subway system. In any regard, as you could see, these guys are just checking bags. I believe that they expect for there to be an attack. I believe that they know that they let a lot of people into the country that are suspected terrorists. I believe they know this. This is not a secret. I believe that the local government knows it. I believe that national government, as far as the people down in DC, they know this also. They know they've been letting these people in. And they know that these people are all over America, not just New York City. Also, you want to know what's really scary? Do y'all remember before when they was talking about we had to wear masks? Remember what I said? I said I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to get us to wear masks because there's people out there doing terrorist attacks that involve like releasing, inhalants that could cause for people to get sick. Yeah. Another thing that they're probably looking for. In any regard, put it down in the comment section. How do you feel about the National Guard being here? Look, if you're going to have the National Guard out here policing people, that's literally one step away from martial law. Like, comment, subscribes. Join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I get on this one. I'm out.